Hello and welcome back to Ars Nouveau. I'm Zeke777, and there has been quite a few changes on the server. Most notably, of course, is we now have seasons. Yeah, it doesn't really do anything right now. Oh yeah, I built this. I built that. I now have a full second floor as well as a third floor. I also have an elevator to get up there. At the moment, I've got carbuncles running around still. Did a little bit of sorting stuff, but for the most part, just built this. Nothing up here. That we'll get to later. I actually want to rebuild it. I don't really like it right now. It's not a good spot. And then I also have a third floor, which is currently entirely empty. Point of this floor, I'm thinking I'm going to have villagers up here. I think. Haven't really decided. Down here, also haven't really decided, which is why I kind of threw this thing in place. Is a smelting system. Totally looks like it, right? Yeah. That is about it for the base here. We did add a few mods to the server. Serene Seasons is now a thing. It is currently spring, if I understand. If I'm reading the calendar correctly. Yeah, spring. You can tell because it's a flower. So that's kind of cool. Kind of annoyed for fall and winter. The grass here turns kind of brownish and it's not as cool as I like it right now. Spring and summer though, really nice. I like it still. We might do some automation with that, just because I think it'd be kind of cool if we had like colored banners on all of our buildings, and then with each season it swaps out for a different color. I think that'd be kind of interesting. Otherwise, let's see, what else did we add? We added buddy cards, which is a collectible card system. I guess if you collect enough of them that you will get power-ups or different equipment or something like that. Not entirely sure, and quite honestly haven't actually found any yet. Which is kind of funny because I've got a whole bunch of stuff going on, but I haven't actually really manually killed anything for a while. Yeah, so I haven't gotten any of the buddy cards yet. Let's see, any other upgrades around this base here? That's about it. It's kind of an update on the crammer over here. I've put in more of these solid blocks, and it seems to be reset stable now. Now, if the pigs get stuck in the side block there, they also will die eventually from suffocation. Cows are doing well. I haven't put any other animals in here yet. I haven't decided which ones I want to do. You don't really need sheep, and chicken are a little difficult to get going. They don't really cram in the right spot. Let's see. Oh, we updated. We now have better end is a new change. Kind of an interesting one there, actually. So we did completely wipe the end. I don't have a portal to it, Zachris does. But as an interesting side effect, we currently don't have a return portal. The dragon didn't spawn. Apparently I need to go into MBT editor and change the, there's a line in there about the dragon fight, so I need to remove that. And then that will regenerate the portal as well as give us a new dragon. But yeah, I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. Only have had it for a few days now, so still trying to work out all the issues with adding new mods mid-server. Let's see, Living Rock has been going well. You can see we did update Ars Nouveau. We've had a few updates now. It is now properly consuming the materials here. Yes, technically that was a full infinite any block, whatever you'd like in the world, including, hey, solid diamonds, why not? Yeah, that's a thing we could have done. But yeah, I just wanted Living Rock. So wasn't going to abuse it, but Bailey fixed it pretty quickly, so that's good. Other than that, yeah, got a new build up there. I did move my bed, so let's come down here. Quick way to get my bed is I have a little door down here, and this elevator, depending on which direction you press, you can go to different floors. Forward is first floor, left is second floor, and then third is just all the way up. And up here is my bed. Reset spawn. Okay, ready, set. Alright, let's get started. So before we can get started on what I'd actually like to work on, which is Botania, with giving it food, I need to discuss the smelter in the room, and that is right here. So it's a little system that I kind of worked with Zachris a little bit on trying to figure out how we want to do this. He's got a little different style. His can smelt, I think, 5 stacks at once, but it's a little less controlled because it'll smelt stone, for instance, will smelt twice. So we'll go from cobble to stone to the smooth stone. This thing here. That. So kind of, it does go faster than this, but it's less controlled. So I put a whole bunch of raw beef in there, and I'm going to turn on the lever. Now we have a new spell glyph, which is toss, which will throw a full stack at a time. And you see some cooked beef fall over there. So what I have it doing is let's hop up. Yeah. Flight ritual. Beef comes up here, goes through there, lines up against the slime block and the chest there, and then goes through these runes here. Now I have it set on a 5-second timer. It doesn't have to be that slow, it can be faster. But I've got 2 runes there with Smelt and Pierce, and latest update, items can now trigger runes, which is awesome. Really useful, really powerful. Why is there beef sitting here? You should not be there. There we go, picked it up. Okay, there we go. So yeah, still a couple bugs there like you saw. It sometimes doesn't collect all of them. And then these eventually fall down here, and when that activates it is just a pickup rune. The rune just has touch pickup, which will then put it automatically into the chest. And then the carbuncles kind of get confused because they saw loose items and they want to grab them. That's a thing. I'm still not entirely sure where I want to put this. I think I do want it in this building, mostly because then it's always loaded. I'm kind of running low on loaded chunks here, so need it to be vertically within these areas. At least at the moment. I may bump up the number of loaded chunks that we have depending on how TPS can handle that. But for the most part, I mean, this works. So it's basically throw your item in here. I can turn you off now. I do want to have a comparator out of here, so it'll only fire if there's stuff in there. That's the thing. But yeah, it works for smelting large amounts of materials pretty quickly. And of course we have 16,000 beef, so you know that's the thing we can smelt a lot of. So over here in Botania, I have some plans and some thoughts and some potential issues. So I've got things kind of laid out here of where they will eventually be. I just kind of dyed them different colors. So I've got the basic mana enchanting, or mana infusion I guess, alchemy catalyst and conjuration catalyst. Alfheim portal will go right here. Terrestrial agglomeration pit will go there, and I've got a Zacchus launching fireworks. We have a new spell card, fireworks. Zacchus likes it. Mana enchanter here. Now, the problem here is carbuncles like to pick things up, as well as hopper hawks, where all these things here automatically, basically just automate all of these. And then I have this thing. So mana enchanter, really powerful. However, you throw books on the ground. I have a few things here that like to pick up things that are on the ground. So we're going to do some science. And our science, of course, is trying to figure out how to get these guys to not pick stuff up. I forgot to grab an enchanted book, so let's hop over here real quick. I think they are down here. Alright, slow fall. Okay. Temporary setup down here. I want to grab a handful of random books because I want to test whether or not they will ignore picking things up if they match a blacklist that includes different types. So if I blacklist one enchanted book, are they going to ignore all? Hopefully that's the case. So let's see. I need to get ourselves a scribe table, plop you down, and get a item scroll deny. So I believe that at least for the carbuncles this will work. Because I know I can set with an allow scroll so they'll ignore it. Ignore you, and is there only 2 over here? Okay, yeah, there's only 2. So if I throw these down on the ground, they will happily ignore it. Awesome, good. Next up, we need a chest. Let's place that there, and I need a block of dirt here instead. Plant you, and we need a hopper hawk. And an item frame. Okay, so you can use this to have it pick up only certain things, but you can also set it as a blacklist. Pick up only items in frames? No. We want you to pick up only items not in frames. And we will set our fire protection book there. Now in theory, those should not get picked up. That's a wonderful theory. It didn't work. And one option I just mentioned to Zacchus there is Hopper Hawk Petites. So what they do is they have a very small range. I think it's just a 3x3. So basically I'd stick it right here, right behind it, and it would pick up only those items. It wouldn't be able to reach the enchanted books over there. And I think that might have to be what we go with here. The carbuncle's going to, of course, pick stuff up for me, but the problem is that they're a little slow, honestly. They'll pick up a whole stack at a time, which is great, but for instance, the Conjuration Catalyst, if I throw a stack of redstone in here, it's going to basically just be a redstone fountain. Pretty much until my entire mana is drained if I don't have a hopper hock pick it up. The carbuncles just won't be fast enough to pick it all up. Yeah, I think that's the plan here. And of course, we can talk about mana all day, but that's not going to do us any good, so we need to actually get some. So I think what I'm going to go with this time is Gourmarylis. And the reason for that is there's a lot of different types of food we have. Did I miss something? 2 gray. Oh, 2 gray. Why don't we grab 1? There we go. Okay, there we go. You fill up the bucket, give you another, and let's empty there, and get ourselves 2 of these. Cool. So we have a lot of options for food in this pack. If I just do a search for meal, for instance, there's quite a few. I can even get, like, melon slices apparently count as a meal. Do they not call them snacks anymore, or does it just say meal? Either way, there are a lot of options. Most of these, I'm not sure if there's a way to actually automate them. Like a hamburger. Hamburger can because it's just regular crafting. Beef patty needs cooking, that's fine. Cutting board. Okay, I don't think I can automate the cutting board. So that kind of cuts down some of our options here. But let's go take a look at what I've got picked out so far. I think you need a total of 8 different foods for this to be fully effective. So far we have 5, and that is stuff we can easily automate, just regular meat, pork, beef, and chicken. And then so far 2 of the Ars Nouveau foods. This is the sourceberry pie and sourceberry roll, which have honestly been my main source of food at the moment. These are also nice because if we eat one real quick here, you'll notice we can eat it while we're full, so that's cool. And it also gives us a minute of mana regen. I believe the sourceberry pie gives mana regen 2, which is, more useful. But yeah, I need to come up with 3 more foods here. I'm not entirely sure what I'd like to do for that. One option is, of course, I can go with the create foods. We do have create in here after all. Create. And there's a few different things in here. The honeyed apple, there are chocolate covered berries, chocolate glazed berries, honeyed apple, builder's tea, not sure what you are, okay. And a sweet roll is another option. All of these need a spout though, which of course we haven't actually even started create yet, so that's kind of a moot point if we don't even have that. So it is now the next day, and I've been thinking about this pretty much all day. Here's the deal. So Gourmarylis, I'm going to have some number of them. Right now there's 2 of them down here, and this is just kind of sitting here. Like, this is just me manually throwing stuff in here. It's not the final setup by far. Yeah. You need to cycle these through 8 different foods, and I'm going to have, let's just say, N different Gourmarylises, whatever the word is. I don't really know how many I want, but I want to be able to expand when I want. So, I need to have a system that can take 8 different foods, and right now I don't have that many. I've got 5. Take 8 different foods and divide it evenly among all the different Gourmarylises, 1 at a time. And I kind of came up with an idea that might work. And of course you may notice these bright yellow lines here, F3G, will show the chunk borders, because this is definitely something that I want to make sure I have in one chunk. It's going to involve hopper minecarts, perhaps chest minecarts, probably just hopper minecarts, and things moving all around. It is going to be rather complex, but if it stays within one chunk, as long as this chunk is always loaded, which if I go to map here, this is a loaded chunk. Apparently my elven portal is not, but I think we should be good. Let me dig this way a little bit and see. That's a 3x3. Let's see how far we've... Okay, so it's literally right there. So that's the edge of that chunk right here. So we have this much room, and of course we can go up or down as needed. My general plan is that we're going to have some mana pools right here that are nice and visible, but that's not going to be all the mana. I think that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's only 14. We're going to want more. I don't know how much we want, but we do want more. So I'm thinking I'm going to have just like a big platform of mana pools here that are just kind of hidden below ground here. All the mana gen is going to be underneath here. And I think I have some materials to go get. So after quite a bit of trial and error, we have my feed tape. Yes, it's a pun. The way this works, and there's still missing a whole circuit that's going to be right here, is when this button is pressed, it will trigger through the target block, it will fire a dropper. Just one of these 8 droppers. Now, those droppers will of course be filled with the applicable food items, which at the end of a cycle will come over here, the minecart will pick up those items. But it's kind of the end of the cycle there. So, minecart with hopper, it would at this point already be filled with as much food as I have Gourmarylis, still don't know that. And the plan is that that will then come up here, go along and drop off the stuff in droppers on each of these Gourmarylises. Then when it is done, it will go back around here and pick up whatever got dropped. That's the general plan. And of course, no plan ever actually goes to plan. Couple things I want to point out here. This was discovered by Zacharis. Phantom blocks, if you put Amplify on them, the new texture here is solid. If you put Amplify on them, they last forever, which means they are great for redstone wiring to have kind of your circuits laid out as different things. Also, basically, it's a free building block. May or may not stay here permanently. This one here, for instance, isn't going to stay. It's just kind of my hopper to get up here. Yeah, so here's the problem. My hope was that I'd be able to fire there's a controller rail underneath here. My hope was that I was going to be able to fire that based off of this observer here, which is powering this block with redstone dot there, or redstone cross. Unfortunately, that's not long enough to actually send the cart around. So for now, I've got this button, so you can see it actually in action. It goes around, it's a little slow. I might need to boost the speed a bit more. Depends on how it's distributing items. I don't want it to do more than 1 item per dropper is the problem. Right now, I don't have anything in there. Up here, I need a circuit that will pulse for however many times as I have Gourmarylises. In this case, it's only going to pulse twice. So when that fires, it will only fire the 1 dropper. And I already tested this. I had some items in here. And that basically then, at the end of the cycle, when it comes around, it will have, in this case, 2 food items to pick up. So now for the problems with this system. Like I already mentioned, button here sends that around. And right now I just have this triggered on a trapdoor, just because I needed the observer timing. So he comes around there. Cool. This pushes the target block over by 1, and you notice it redirects the redstone each time. That also means over here I don't have to worry about it directly powering the piston or anything. I did test it over here at the 1 position and it works fine. Issues. Oh, also you need to be a target block as well. I had tried doing this with just using a solid block from these phantom blocks here. Unfortunately, that did not work because it would have been just a solid block through here and it would have powered the piston, as well as then it wasn't redirecting this. So I had to use a repeater into here to direct it that way, which then of course does power the piston. So that doesn't work. Target blocks. You can tell it's a redstone project if it uses target. So, like I said, I wanted the observer here to fire that guy because I want that to go around basically for every time that this moves over by 1. So we trigger that, pushes everything along, but it's too short. If I have a block over there on top of the hopper cart there, observer timing is too short and it doesn't actually move. It gets stuck right back where it is. So that is one problem. The next problem is, of course, I need to build the timing circuit up here, which would basically be, I need every probably 30 seconds, I think I'll do this. I could do this more efficiently if I actually timed, or if I actually like detected when the mana was done being created. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Instead, I'm going to probably just do a 30-second timer into this piston. Yeah, and then this piston moves the glass, moves everything, which then these are all observers to detect when that moves, which then fires everything. So really I just need to trigger right here. I don't need to worry about wiring up anything else over there. 30 seconds on you, and then you need to pulse, in this case, 2 times, but it's going to be variable. And I think I'm going to use hovering hourglasses for that. I think that is the plan. Yeah, I need to kind of work out how that circuit's going to work. And right now I'm testing how well it distributes items. So I put 10 glass in there. Let's just check you first. Yeah, that's kind of what I was worried about. You guys are all empty, and I'm assuming over here you get multiple. You didn't get any. What? You still have 10. Okay. I'd always been under the impression that it would automatically deposit into these droppers. I'm assuming that is no longer the case, or probably never was the case. And a big thank you to Zacharias for coming up with the idea of, instead, hoppers like that. I was thinking of putting it behind here to face into the dropper, however I realized that that would actually be putting it in a different chunk, which could result in having problems. So I'm going to swap out all of these guys. 4, 5, and then I'm going to do it on this side for these ones, I think. And I need to remember that that one is a booster rail, so put these in place. 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's get our rails back in place here. I need some boosters. You're a regular rail. You are a booster. Rail, rail, rail. Rail and a booster. There we go. Okay, so let's check if this worked. Press the button. And at this point, it hopefully will have worked. And hopefully got... okay. Let's see. You're empty, so that's good. You got none. You got none. Where'd my glass go? Wait. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put those in there. Let's try it again. Alright, you got one. I saw you glitch there for a second. Everyone gets one. Where did my first 10 go? I already did that. I don't know. That's weird. Okay, well, as weird as that is that it kind of disappeared the first set of 10, this is now working. That can go all the way around. Once that gets over there, I might put a detector over there or something so that it knows when it is complete. We can then press this button, which will then throw all of the food, not glass, throw all the food that it had. And I think that that is basically a working system. Thank you. Hold up. Is that his? Might be his. Oh, no, that's mine from clearing this out. Okay. I was thinking that the glass may have been in there. Okay, so that part is working. Things that still need done is the actual proper trigger for that, a timed trigger for this redstone line, as well as a 30-second trigger here, which is going to be the same as the cart down there. And then this guy here, also at the 30-second timer, will start distributing, well, start pulsing a number of times. In this case, 2 times. Alright, so I've made a little circuit here. It's not the most compact. I've seen more compact ones, but it's my own. So there. The way this works is this will be our main hourglass. I'm going to have it for 30 seconds. When it turns on, it will turn on this dust, which will of course then turn off this torch, which will allow this reading to go through. Right now it is set for 1, so I can set for 1 to 8. So let's set up to 8. No, we'll do 7, because 7's a weird number. There, 7. So this right now is not doing anything because it's being shut off by the repeater going into the side. It could be anything going into the side, but I needed it to not be powering this dust. So I could make this a little bit more compact. I need to move it up a few I need to move it up a few layers anyway, so I may try to tweak this a little bit. But if we look over here, there's nothing in this chest. This chest and dropper kind of represents all of these droppers all at once. Yeah. So what happens is signal goes in here. When this is allowed to be on, it will go to signal strength 7, which will turn this one over here to strength 7, which the observer will observe it, because that's what it does, it observes. And then what's going to happen is, since this is going to be since this is going to be 7, this is going to be 7, and this is going to be 6. So now this guy's going to start outputting a 6, and it's going to keep cycling around. Each time it's going to decrease by 1. It's a fader circuit is what it's called. So what that will do is basically for each power level of this, which is currently up to 8, or it's currently set for 7, but can go up to 8, I could switch this out for something like a hopper filled with items. That's another option. I'll do that when I eventually get to having 10 Gourmarylisses, but for now I only have 2. But basically, let's see what happens. So this is already empty. I know this is empty. We'll watch that turn. And because we're on a server, there's a little bit of lag. Turns on, and fader circuit slowly gets darker. So let's take that out. And if we look over here, there are 7 sand. So what that means is, since that's going to be sitting up here, it's going to power all of this redstone dust here. Basically, the observer is going to be where this button is. It's going to pulse one of these however many times I have that little dial set for. So pretty easy to expand this. I can just bump this up to 8. Maybe I'll just get rid of those last 2. We'll see how much 8 is actually giving us for mana anyway. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I think that'll be fine with just 8 anyway, but I think this is going to work. So right now, if it were to go, it would toggle this last one here, which of course I don't have anything in here yet. That's another thing that we need to set up, but I think that's going to work. Now this signal here is of course also going to power down here, which will send off our cart. So the goal is that the entire thing will be done basically outputting all those items before it gets back over here. So that's something that I do want to test. If we have you set for 8, is there a way I can monitor this? Maybe. Let's go like this. So got that set there. We're gonna put 12 in there. That's fine. Currently nothing in the chest here. So redstone science on screen here. So I want to make sure that this is currently set for 8 if it will be done by the time the minecart gets back. Minecart. And of course it doesn't do anything because I need a block here. So block can go there. Boop boop. Take that out. There we go. Sends you off. And I'm going to watch right here. Oh yeah, this is already up to 8. That is plenty fine. So by the time it gets back over here, that'll already be done. Long before. Okay, that's awesome, because that means that you can see my cursor here. By the time it gets around to over here, it's already done dropping all the 8 items, so it'll be able to come along and scoop them all up. So that is working. Take that out, thank you. And now I need to move everything up. I think what I'm going to do is just move it straight up to here. The observer is going to output a full strength anyway, so I might put it over on this side to kind of center it a little bit, but I think that's the plan. Alright, this is done except for the food, I think. So what I did is I put a detector rail over on that side, which will detect when the rail goes by. So you go through here, dropping everything off. Detector rail pushes the feed tape as well as triggers all of the dispensers. I think that's it. So let's wait. Let's watch it again. So the target block is currently right there, which should be the right spot. Well, it doesn't really matter. I should have put less than 30 seconds on this for testing, but oh well. So that goes, because we're a server and TPS is terrible right now. This will eventually tick. Eventually, there we go. So you just saw that blink, so it sent stuff out of the droppers. Comes around. Okay, so something's broken over here. Why are you broken? No, really, why are you broken? you're not doing anything because you're not doing anything. Why are you not doing anything? Glass here is because the droppers are sending out glass at the moment. Do I just need another glass right here? Is that the right spot? Yeah, see that pushed like it's supposed to. Am I just missing a glass? I think I'm just missing a glass. No inventory space as always. So let me put some stuff in here. Let's go pick up this glass off the ground, because why not? Now here's the question is, I don't really know where the glass needs to be. I guess it kind of has to be right here. So I need to let it cycle through and make sure that this is in the right spot then, because it may have moved that. Oh, if this is over here, that target block probably powered the piston. That's probably what happened. Let me think about that. Okay, so a couple problems. One, this circuit here takes too long. It takes too long on the detector rail, so therefore the piston here is actually firing for too long, so it's still stuck out. And when it is out, then the one below it can't push up. So I need either a delay in you, so that you don't push the bottom. Can stick more of a delay on the bottom one there, which might be worth doing. See how long it sits there. Let's see, I can't fit down there. Yeah, almost. Nope, okay. Let's see. There is still the problem of, I think the target block was powering this. I'm not sure though, because it hadn't when I was testing it. But this down here is a problem. So I just threw all my repeaters back in the redstone chest, of course. Let's hop back up here. Rails I don't need any more of. Let's grab the repeater. So that there, let's put as long of a delay on there as we can. And while we're at it, break. Place. Okay, so let's see if that now works. Okay, you'll go soon. Okay, so there we go. They'll go all the way around. Yeah, no, that's still way too long. Okay, we can work with this. And here we are. We have this, I think, working exactly as we want. I don't have any of the flowers, and I only have 2 there at the beginning, and currently no food. So that's a thing. This should have just sent you. Thank you. Apparently a little bit of lag there. So that's going around just fine. Hits over there. I went with so I moved the detector rail back a little bit, which would give me a bit more room to be able to do a monostable circuit here. I just did the cheap version with a regular piston and a gravity block. Signal goes in here of pretty much arbitrary length, and it comes out as a single tick, which is basically what I was doing with the observer before over on here. So it gets a single tick, so it pulls back in time for the one below it to push up. And with that, I think this is pretty much exactly how I want it, with the exception of course, I don't have any food yet. So that is definitely something which I keep saying I need to get done. But yeah, I think it's working. I'm just kind of filling in areas here. I don't want much space back here, mostly because when things drop out here, I want them to stay on the track. So technically, yes, this is part of my chunk that I allotted myself, but I'm just going to fill it in. There we go. Yeah, just going to fill the whole thing in, and I think with that, that is a good point. I need food, so that is something. It's kind of a difficult problem here. I've got the couple things. The thing is, I haven't actually automated anything yet. like any food production. And I did have a crop farm outside there for growing various things, and I got rid of it. Yeah, so I cleared that area right there, mostly because I wanted to have more land. I wanted to kind of build in more, just try to get the overall design and feel for the town itself. You also notice I did get rid of all the torches, all of the lights. I have hidden underneath some blocks here. I think I have one right down here, don't I? Yeah, I have a mega torch down here, which stops spawns within, I believe, a 30 block radius. So I've got a number of those kind of hidden around here, just because it'll allow me to do more interesting lighting things. So as you can see, like I said, I took out all the torches, all the lights, the mage lights, so now I just have these lanterns. My intent is to give it a bit more like a lived-in feel of there's actual lights. It's not just, oh, look at the sterile environment of many, 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 many torches. I have so many torches. But instead, at night, it has this nice glow just along the walkways, along the buildings. They have different areas lit up. You can see in the window there where it's lit. I think it gives the town an overall, like, a nicer feel. It doesn't feel just kind of, like I said, sterile. Apparently it was winter recently. Yeah, that or my snowman got out. Yeah, but like I said, I don't have a food supply. Like literally nothing. Even for myself, I don't have really a good source of food. I have the raw beef and raw pork coming in. Currently no other animals over in my source generation area here. So that is something that needs sorted out. I think this thing doesn't even drain the... Yeah, we're at 16,000 tallow. So apparently the carbuncle here is not fast enough to pick up everything, which is actually a good thing to note. Which means if I do put anything else in here, then that's going to be another problem. Because as it is, it's not draining fast enough. That is an issue. That's an issue for later. So, another mega torch. So, like I said, the only real food I have is all that raw beef. And pork, of course. So, in order to really do anything with the Gourmarylis there, we need food. Specifically, I need a whole bunch of wheat. So I need to set up a wheat crop farm. I do have automated source berries. Right now they're just going into a chest and not really doing anything. But that is something going on over there. So I need to automate that. I need to automate these mage bloom, because I need that for source berry pie. So I need mage bloom for that. Eggs are easy enough to automate. That's just chickens on a hopper. Sugar is a sugarcane farm, so we need to automate that as well. And of course we tore that out after like day 3. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that need to be done. And again, if I look at my claimed chunks here, you can look at the loaded areas, which is kind of an issue. I guess at the moment I don't need these loaded, because currently nothing is running along there, which gives me 5 chunks to play with for loading. You don't need loaded. That one, I think the splitter is right on that, so I probably need that one. I won't need this one, which will give me 6, so I can maybe set these 6 here as loaded. Yeah, that's a problem. So I need to figure out how to load all my chunks. Yeah, that's the thing. In the meantime, I'm going to do some thinking and figure out where I want to put everything. Like I said, need a crop farm. Need to decide if I want that visible or not. Kind of leaning towards not, because that allows me to put it underneath stuff. I can put it underneath here. I can put it under here, because this is all loaded for the bridge. Yeah, decisions. Decision paralysis is a real thing. But before we actually start automating the food production, we can at least get things started here. We can just throw some stuff in. I did put some carbuncles in, and you can see it is working. So we've got some fruits dropped down there. We've got a whole bunch of plants now. I got 10 of these total now. I did have to switch this out from the more vanilla with the dial to now an analog lever from Create, because now I can do full 1 to 16. So that's awesome. It's currently set for 10, of course, because I have 10 Gourmarylises in here. And you can see it is producing mana. Now, right now, I only have 4 food items in here. I just have the basic meats, just because these I can produce real quick. And then in the 4th slot here, I did put in a bunch of source berries just because I've got infinite of them. Mostly because I wanted to get this working while I wasn't online. We're actually going to be switching so that loaded chunks only work if you are online, as opposed to offline as well. Mostly just because if I go to Forge TPS, we are sitting pretty at 17.5 TPS, which is not ideal. We were actually down to 12, I think, yesterday, so that's fun. But this is all working, and it's great. Like I said, we'll need to get more food in there. I need to start auto-producing more of the stuff. For now, I just have one carbuncle down here. He's pulling from barrels up top there. I had to seal this off completely. He was running, trying to get the items down there, like that pork chop there. You probably want to get that pork chop, don't you? You're not even supposed to be here. I don't know how he got here. He is supposed to be running back to base there, or back to storage, and coming over here and dropping stuff off to these barrels. Unfortunately, he decided he wants the bottom of the barrel. So I think with current AI that they'll actually end up just teleporting around if they can't reach what they want. So that's fine, we're just going to ignore him. What I do want to work on though is up here. That is Terra Steel. I want to get started on this just because I want to get some Alfheim stuff started on this. Yeah, I need a whole bunch of stuff from Alfheim. And while that is working way downstairs, let's get ourselves a terrestrial agglomeration plate. I've been making runes off camera just because it's kind of tedious and annoying. Let's stick a spark on you, and let's kind of clear that a little bit. Place you, place you, place you. With any luck, our carbuncles ignore that. There we go, almost. Yay! Okay, so I've been basically just moving stuff up here manually with a mana tablet, but it works. So let's get 2 of those. I only need 1 to open up Alfheim, but it's useful anyway. So my goal is I want to get the spark augments, mostly because this thing here, I don't want this here. I've got a whole bunch of pools. Let's walk. I've got these pools here that I want to fill up as my kind of main mana battery, as well as, so it's going to need all these pools, all 10 of them, need to have spark augments on them. I'm also going to have some more mana pools just kind of there, just kind of on the ceiling here. So you'll be able to see that much, but there's actually going to be a lot more. 17 pools is a lot, probably more than I'll actually need, but whatever. This will then allow me to do something like I can stick a comparator on here, and if this is full, then I can just shut off this whole system. So that way these guys won't get backed up, I won't be wasting food, and it'll just kind of pause the whole system while the mana is full. So let's go get our materials to open up Alfheim. And for that, of course, we need our Elven Gateway Core, which apparently, there we go. Elven Gateway Core, got the Terra Steel for that now, and we need some Natura pylons, so let's get ourselves 2 mana pylons, and switch these to being Natura pylons. Oh, I have Ender. Forgot that. 2 of you, and we need 1 of you. Blaze Powder, plus Ender Pearl equals I have Ender, and there we go. So, Natura pylon. There we go. And I have regular living wood on me. Yes. Cool. Let's head over to Botania and set this up. Little bridge here. I keep giving myself, I'm debating moving the flight ritual. It kind of covers that whole building, which was useful for building it, but I don't actually like creative flight. Like I said, I like it for building. I don't like it for just regular getting around. I prefer the Elytra, actually. So let's break that. I need the gateway core here. Let's go ahead and build these. Gourmarylis is working away down there. Place you here. You here. And one more. There we go. Okay, let's break out these middle ones. Don't need those anymore. So that is the Elven Gateway itself. Our 2 pylons need to go here. Thank you. Apparently if you click right there, it'll actually place it right here because you're placing on that side of a model. That's annoying. Okay. Those look good there. Let's go ahead and grab, we're gonna just toss that whole thing in there. Alright, I'm going to fill these up a little bit. That's kind of tedious. I have to go downstairs, pick things up, bring it back up here, back and forth, and we will fill these up a little bit. They don't need to be completely full, just need to be enough that it'll be able to open. Alright, they're both filled up just a little bit. Let's go ahead and open World Calling. Do I actually have, I don't actually know if I have a lexica on me. I might have one in here. Sweet, we do. Okay, we'll toss you through first just to get the unlock the next level of this. So that will give us some documentation if we ever need it. In addition to that, though, I also want to get myself some elementium. Let's get 16 or so of the dreamwood. I want some of that as well. My goal is I want a elementium axe. It is very useful. Mostly for getting heads. I was wanting to get another nether star so I can get some beacons around the base, but I didn't have any wither heads, and so that's something that will help for that. Not sure if we have enough mana in here for this whole stack. Oh, we do. Awesome. Perfect. Awesome. That is good. Pixie dust is needed for all the augments, as well as a bunch of other things I need. Why am I not? Okay. Seems like I was slower there. Awesome. This is going to be very helpful. I can put augments on all of these guys and get that to actually fill up my main storage there. Yeah, this is a good thing to get. Anyway, episode's getting a little long, so I think this is a good spot to wrap things up, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.